I'm running low on power, around 19% at the moment. So anyway, just wanted to, interesting, right? 3 years down the line, 3 years, this phone is, as I understand it from Wikipedia, 2016, and in September this phone was, revealed and all that. That's around 3 years, and this phone is still the best phone that is out there. I did pay a pretty good amount because I was amount for the phone, but I got the right phone, that's for sure. At least in regards of what is out there. Now, I don't like in regards to the direction of Android and all of that, but compared to the rest of the crap out there, this is the best phone. You can change the battery. How many phones can you actually change the battery? Was a standard feature in the past. A standard feature that makes sense. Now they're talking about, global warming, all that bullshit and all that. And, we need to this and that. And yet we are making mobiles that you pretty much can't change the battery on. And of course, the battery might last half a year, maybe a little more, but it will run out. And then what do? You just buy a new mobile, right? Yeah, because because it's just now it's too old, so you need a new one and all that. Just bullshit, utter bullshit. Anyway, the LG V20, you can still change the battery. That's just what do you call it? That's just something that a phone needs to have. If a phone can't change battery, why would I have it? It's just stupidity. Oh yeah, I need to take it in into my shower or something like that or whatever. Yeah, and glass on the behind so it breaks and all that. You have to be kidding me. Why would you have a phone that breaks so easily? The LG V20, I've dropped this phone multiple times, and it still works. Not as pretty much, well, of course, there's a little scratch here and there, but the screen is pretty good, I do have in regards to the side, but overall, the screen is pretty much without any scratches. And I've had this phone pretty good amount of time, and it still works. And I can still change the battery quickly. When this runs out, like 70%, well, I can just change the battery. And of course, you can buy things where you can get bigger batteries and all that. This is just insane. 3 years down the line, and there's no phone that compares to the LG V20. And the LG V20 is, still, I think, in regards of Tin Stars being the best, I would really, put it low because there's a lot of things that could be a lot better in regards to this. But compared to the rest of the bullshit out there, this is the best phone that's out there. Now, of course, it's pretty sad to think about that in the past that, you could pretty much change the battery of every single phone, But now, it's like, this is the last flagship that you can actually do that, change the battery. It's incredible. There couldn't be just one single company actually using their brain and actually doing something that the users actually want, or at least there's a good amount of users that don't want this bullshit, that just wants, it's just, it wants to have a mobile where you can change the battery, and yeah, of course, then you don't need all this quick charging either, right? Because you just change the battery. Is that, is it too hard to make a cover to take off and on and all that? I've taken this cover off and on multiple times. Works wonderful. So what would be another feature that I would set as a very high thing, as a standard thing? And yes, we are running low. Well, the next feature would be a jack stick. A jack stick for phones and all that, whatever. The speakers or whatever. Something like just, jack stick. It's not the jack stick, And there's a jack stick in the LG V20. That's a standard feature, like in the past and so forward. I want that. That's a primary thing that needs to be in the phone. Okay. So jack stick, and what was it more? Oh yeah, an SD card. If you can't put an SD card in the mobile, what's the point? Of course, Android have done a lot of these crazy daisy things in regards of not being allowed to use the SD card, and then it's just all this bullshit where they close features down and don't let the user actually. That's one of the things why I would probably only rate this phone. Even if it's the best phone out there, I would probably rate it as a 2 or 3 or something like that out of 10. And why would I rate it so low? Because it's bullshit that I don't have administer rights out of the box, rude in regards of doing what I want with my phone that I paid, 5,000 kroners, which is like, $700 or something like that. I paid for it in the, long time since, it has been a good phone, I've been using it a lot, and it has been pretty, now I do have some problems in regards of charging because I used a foreign charger that seems to mess things up. But, I still have, I have chargers that I, charge the battery. I put the battery in the charger, and so I just changed the battery. It's not a big problem. Just sad that I, was so stupid to go out and buy one of these quick chargers with a little more juice, and apparently it shouldn't actually be a problem, but it seemed to sadly become a problem. Now, so 3 years and no new phone. Well, you can change the battery, jack stick, and SD card. This is incredible. What bullshit is this? Not a single company making a new flagship where you can change the battery. And actually, this phone, if, I ordered it from, I can't remember, from the, you couldn't even get it in Denmark. They didn't sell the phone in Europe, if I remember correctly. You couldn't get it in I got it from I'm thinking Japan, but I'm not. No, that's not. The city that the Englishmen had and they gave back to someone. Is that Tokyo? I don't know. Whatever. I got it from a foreign nation and they paid. That was actually a pretty good company. That paid the if there's any toll and all that, it's toll free and all that. So you couldn't get this phone in Denmark, and as far as I remember, not in Europe either, because LG didn't sell this phone in Europe. It's incredible. But anyway, so it was a good choice. I'm really happy that I did it, because all the other phones out there are just bullshit. Now I was looking forward to the Librem 5 phone, and I'm still, looking into that product, project and so forward. Sadly, they said they would begin to release, and there's some things going on with that. But they're moving forward at least. At least they're focused on freedom and administration rights and all that. So again, I'm setting this phone very low, and still it's the best phone out there. There are still things that could have been a lot better. Features where I'm like, why? It's like it's starting the phone automatically when you charge it. If I just want to quick charge, it would be nice not to actually having it turned on. If I just want to have juice, apparently it needs to turn on. Now, the problem is if you just put it in the thing here down at the bottom, right, to fix juice into it, and it opens up and all that. Well, if you don't have any security and all that, and I don't see any necessary for the security bullshit and all that. Anyway, but in any case, with the thumb screen and all that, but it has the capability and all that. But if you don't have that on, the screen is turned on. So you put it in there and you walk away, and then after a little time, it turns on automatically. And in regards to the speed charging as well and all that. But anyway, and of course that seems to actually that I've broken that by using a foreign charger from Huawei, I think, or whatever they're called. That was like 0.2 more amps that it could actually give. So I thought, hey, let's try that. So actually now it seems like that. If I want to charge it now, it seems like I actually need to use the Huawei to actually get it. Something has been messed up in regards of using it. It seems, I can't get the. I could try to restart the mobile and all that and see if that works anyway. But anyway, I'm still just charging the battery at the side and just changing the battery mostly. But that's my fault that I use the foreign charger. Now this is another bullshit thing in regards of all these different ways of charging mobile phones. You got to be kidding me. You know, could we keep to a standard here? No, apparently not. We need to have all these gimmicks, this and that, and way. You know, some do it this way and some do it that way. And well, oh, give me a break. Why can't you just keep to a standard? And what was wrong here? You know, in the old system, that worked pretty good as long as you could change batteries, right? Because then you could have an extra battery with you. But in these crazy daisy times, they've gone nutcase in regards of all these. You know, just incredible. Anyway, so I'm not totally satisfied, and I'm just looking, you know, I was like thinking, you know, is there anything that is coming out with, you know, with those three main things? Probably not. It seems like it's just impossible to make what they made in the past, you know? An SD card, well, at least one SD card, you know. Two SD card would even be better, so you could just upgrade the storage in the mobile. But of course, they're trying to make you, you know, in regards to using the mobile, and you need more and more space on the mobile, and they're forcing you to use the space on the internal space instead of actually the SD card, and they're doing all these crazy daisy things. And now in the new versions of Android, you're not allowed to actually record calls. Well, if I want to record my calls, I want to record my calls. Okay. If I'm calling someone and there's something that, you know, I need to remember and all that, I want to be able to go back and re-listen to it so I can actually, you know. But no, you're not allowed that in regards to the new Android version. I think Android 9 and Android 10. So if you actually upgrade, you know, which I'm not going to intend to do, there is an update coming for the LG20. I'm not sure if it's actually out now or whatever. I don't really care about that update because you can't record calls anymore. Because Android, you know, in regards of that despotic ways and that bullshit, you're not allowed to record calls. All this bullshit. Anyway, I'm looking forward to the Librem foam. I really hope the Librem foam is, you know, the Linux society is moving at least. So, you know, at least you can change battery on that. And there's jack stick. And there's an SD card. Yeah, that's, if I remember correctly. Yeah, there's an SD card, if I remember correctly. So SD card, jack stick, and battery. You know, looking forward to what they can. Now it's still in the future and all that, but you know, give me a break. Why can't one single company, you know, make a flagship in regards of, you know, battery, changeable battery, jack stick, and SD card? Is that too much to ask for? Apparently, in our days, it's too much to ask for. I'll just see if I can get a little juice in it. So it's not broken totally in regards of the charging, but after I charged it with the foreign charger, it's, you know, there's something happened with it, so it has problems with the charging. So that's very sad. But again, my fault. I tried different chargers to try things out, and apparently, you know, trying that Howie, you know, thing wasn't too good. I don't know why that would ruin, you know, make issues for it. It got pretty heated when I, you know, charge it up. But yeah, and then no. Anyway, my fault. You know, use the foreign charger. But again, that's again bullshit. You know, why shouldn't I be able to actually use a foreign charger without actually, you know, making issues for the mobile? But anyway, it still works pretty good. You know, there's not any big issues. The microphone works, the mics works. It pretty much works pretty good on. But again, you know, there's absolutely, you know, place for improvements of this. But of course, it's like, oh, the next mobile, the next mobile, next mobile, the next mobile, next mobile. It's like the updates tends to sometimes, you know, I don't know if they don't test the updates sometimes, you know. You know, they should probably do a better job on some of the testings, you know, and break something or a new feature that is, you know, worsen the things that you had, and then you're not allowed to roll back. You can't, you know, you're not allowed to roll back. Hey, if you update this, too bad, you can't roll back. It's one-way direction. what if I have, well, no control to the user. It's the same with the programs on Play Store. Yeah, you can update it, right? Can you roll the program back to a version that was, an older version? No. So if you update, yeah, well, you end up ending getting out and needing to look on the internet and trying to see if you can find an older version. So you delete the new version and download the old version, all that. But or you would need to make a backup. That's a possibility as well. But yet sometimes, the backup can it's like I think it's 20 gigabytes or something like that. My backup when I back up. So that takes a lot of space. But in any case, so usually I only have one backup. That's a problem. I should probably, I should have more backups. But again, the space and all that. Yeah. But of course, in regards to the SD card, now there's 1 terabyte coming out. It's like 4,000 kroners. That I guess that's what. $400 or something like that, $500 for 1 terabyte card or something like that, and you can actually upgrade it, right? You can just put a new card in it if you have the money. You can just buy a new card, put it in there, and there you go. More storage for your mobile, so you can have more things with you and all that. I have 400 gigabytes at the moment, and I pretty much filled that. Pretty much it's not totally filled up, but it's close. But in any case, yeah. But why make a phone where you cannot have an SD card? A micro SD card. Not to have the ability to upgrade your storage. So it's in regards to future things and all that. That's just stupid. And 2 would be even better. That would be awesome. Two SD cards, yeah, great. More storage. Yeah. It's a maniac. It's just so maniac. Anyway, so if you want a new mobile, if you have a problem in regards to the old mobile or whatever, it's broken or something like that, get a LG V20. It's the best phone out there in regards of Android phones, I think. The only other thing that could, maybe be in regard, that would maybe be the phones that you can open up and all that. There's like 2 versions or something like that on the market at the moment, right? And there seems to be some issues with. But that would be the only other thing that might pique some interest, right? So all the it's in a having double screen would be pretty nice in regards of biblical stuff and all that. I can see the idea of that, but you can't change the battery still. So I don't think it has. I think one of them actually have but that's not a micro SD card. It's even a smaller thing in regards of their own standard little card that you can get. So yeah, I don't think there was jack stick in either of them either. So you can't change the battery, and there's no jack stick if I remember correctly. And only one of them had an SD possibility in regards of more storage. So it doesn't really fulfill the big the specs that I'm usually going for. At least they should make it easy for the user to change the battery. Might not be, but in regards of if in the future, because it will break at some point, the battery breaks. Of course, that's the whole idea, right? The designed absolution. So you need to go out and buy something, and then you need to go down and pay for them opening your mobile and changing the battery and all that. Just, you should be able to do that yourself, But, I guess the industry loves to make more work for people, and it's incredible. So yeah, I'm not satisfied. 3 years, and not a phone with standard feet. How hard is it to? And by the way, the battery. You got to be kidding me! You're making these small batteries. They just and the mobile don't last for long and all that. It's just stupid. So stupid. Oh, it has to be slim and all that bullshit. Let's have a man phone with a good battery and all. In the past, you have good battery and all that, and the phone could last for a long time. That's, why not make a, bigger battery? Why is no one making it like a phone with it's too thick or whatever, Give me a break. It's a man's phone, with a good amount of battery, so you don't need to be afraid that need to find a plug or charger or whatever. Give me a break, Have a phone that actually lasts, some time instead of needing to find a plug all the time. So yeah, it's incredible. There's not a single, there's no variation. It's just the same bullshit. Every single phone. It's just the same bullshit, each of them, no jack stick, no changing of battery, and what was it? No jack stick, no changing of battery, and no SD card as well. It's the same bullshit all through the line, nearly, and of course small batteries as well in regards of the time and all that. So you can only use them for, it's just the bullshit. I would like a phone that can last a couple of days or something like that. That's nice. And I don't care if it's a little bigger in regards to the battery and all that. Give me a break. I don't understand, like the V20, you can change the cover and all that. How much could it actually, how much effort could it actually take to actually just make a cover, a back cover, to make make a bigger battery available? How hard could that be, to just make another cover, that would be a professional cover from them, just to make room for a bigger battery. Then the user can decide, hey, do I want, a slim mobile or do I want a thicker mobile and all that? At the moment, people are like, you can go out and buy these plastic covers and all that. And that work also pretty good. But if you want to have a firm thing, because I've noticed that, sometimes if if the phone is just a little, you can end up missing the contact if it's plastic and all that. So it's not a big issue overall, but still a little annoying when you use the standard cover and all that. It doesn't do that. So at least the thing I have this plastic cover and all that, and if you sometimes the battery will just apparently snap out of it, so so it needs to be restarted or that it restarts. That's pretty sad. But how hard could it be for a company to actually just if you can change the cover on this, you can take off the back side and all that. How hard could it actually be to actually make a product where you have a bigger battery as well, You could even have 3 different kinds of covers that people could buy extra if they want a bigger battery that would fit the mobile perfectly and all that is made and designed for it and all that. How hard can it be? Well, I guess apparently very hard, because we want glass on our mobile. Who came up with that stupid idea, That has to be the most stupid thing, glass on a mobile, and then you drop the mobile, and then, it's ruined, And why would you make a product? And the mobile needs to be watertight in these days. I don't really take my mobile into the shower and all that. Okay. I guess that could be one way, of course, if one is totally, I guess that could be a possibility if it was watertight to take it, if you're sitting in, I get it, in the bathtub or something like that, if it can actually, I get that. But there's the other option of not just, if it's actually, I remember in the past, I actually did take my mobile sometimes in the hot tub. I just, did like it was outside, if I remember correctly. So I never dropped the phone in the water, so I never had a problem. I never destroyed a phone with that. But in any case, I think I actually might have had, just on the side. But in any case, it's, you just have to think a little, right? In regards of not taking it in the bathtub or in the shower or, on the. I don't even. They might even not work in regards of the beach because of the salt water might actually be too heavy. Of course, there are some, for example, the MP3 player I have that can actually do salt water. But if you're in the salt water, it might not be a good idea to have something plugged in. You might be a good idea to actually have your ears so you can, still hear what is around you. Of course, you can actually turn on the functions of actually hearing things around you. But yeah, anyway, I guess it should be possible for them to make it in regards of salt water. I don't know. I haven't really. But give me a break. There are other people that wants other features, okay? Like me and many others. And many others still holding on to the V20 phone, because it's the best phone that is out there, in regards to the features they want. Because there's no newer phone that actually have those features. It's just bullshit all the line. Oh, there's a new phone, and new phone, and new phone. Oh, let's see you on the. Oh, no replaceable battery, no jack stick, and no SD card. Oh well, bullshit in the trash. Nah, I don't even want to look at it. What's the point? So again, nothing out on the market that can fulfill, the needs of a lot of people out there that just thinks this is just stupid. This is bullshit. Just not one single company, not a single company in the past. These were standard features in flagship, I don't remember any flagship that I bought that didn't have the ability to change the battery and to have an SD card of some kind, and what was the last thing in regards? Yeah, and the jack stick. I haven't had any flagship, as I recall, that was really in regards to the flagship. Of course, the first mobile I had didn't have these things, but that wasn't a flagship. That was like, but that was the beginning of all of these things. When it was like, wow, a mobile, wow, yeah, it's just anyway. Yeah, that was the times, I guess. And then the next mobile I think I got had the things, jack stick, SD card, and battery, I think. Let's see. It's hard to remember. Let's see. That was the clap phone I had. Let's see. It had the memory card. Did it have... That's a good question. Did I actually have a replaceable battery? I'm uncertain if that might actually not have had replaceable battery. Yeah. And the I'm pretty much wrong in regards to that. And the N8 that I bought didn't have replace. Yeah, of course you could replace it if you just screw things out and all that. So, but not in regards of replaceable. Well, I can't remember in regards of this. That's interesting, right? Because you run around with these mobiles. I think I had 2 Sonys or Ericsson, or I can't even remember. It's incredible. Actually, I had on computer my folders, but I think I deleted a lot of them in regards to the mobiles that I had, in regards to the pictures that I took and all that, and deleted a lot of those as well in regards of the old. Yeah, I had different, I think it was Sony mobiles I had. It was like flagship and all that. I might be a little too much in regard, but this is the standard feature that I would expect from a flagship. Changeable battery, jack stick, and SD card. At least one SD card, Wouldn't mind 2 SD cards, because usually you have SD cards, right? You might have a smaller SD card and a bigger SD card. Maybe even 3 SD cards, That might be just stretching it a little, but, you can always use a little more space. Maybe you could, if you had 3 SD cards, you'd maybe use one of them for backups, for example, and then another one for another thing, and then use 3, it there should be room for it, right? And it's a lot of surface area right around the camera and all that. Should be room for. It's not like it's very small, So, of course, this mobile, you can also have two SIM cards in this mobile, so you can actually have. That's I haven't really used that feature, but it's a possibility. But of course they could just have maybe changed that to an SD card, maybe more. I don't know. Any case, it shouldn't be a total. It shouldn't be that difficult to fix something in regards to the design, right? So bigger battery. That's jack stick, and yeah, I guess I'm a little tired. I guess that's why my brain is not working so good. So jack stick, replaceable battery. It would be nice just having something in regards of having the possibility of a bigger battery as well in regards to the back and all that. If they had made a back, where the user could choose and all that, instead of just flying one mobile out on the market after another and just forgetting the phone and just like it's 5,000 kroners or $700 or something like that. And it's just like, oh well, we have a new phone we want to focus on. It's like and then a new phone and a new phone and a new phone, and it's just incredible. They just running along instead of actually, it's actually not that old, like 3 years, and still, and again, many of these new features that they're focused, higher resolution and all that. I don't care about the high resolution. Actually, if I could get more juice out of the mobile, I would actually have no problem actually running a lower resolution. But of course, I don't give the possibility to actually do that because they have locked me out because I don't have administrative rights for the phone because they have done all this. That's all one of it's one of the other things that really draws it down in regards to the stars as well. When you have a phone, you should have the possibility of opening the phone up, without with ease. It shouldn't be difficult opening your phone up. And you shouldn't need to get out on the internet and try to find these people that tries to circumvent these things and know things and how to do it and all that. And you might actually break the mobile because the mobile factories have tried to do so you can't open, and security might this and bullshit might that and all that. It's just bullshit. It's just utter bullshit. I think it's bullshit, And you end up using so much time because they have used time to lock you out and this and that, and you sit there and reading and, you're using a lot of time. So this is absolutely, you should have the ability to do whatever you want with your phone. So if you want to unlock it, you should have the ability to do it very quickly, very easily. So, yeah. That's pretty much it. And the SD card, jack stick, and removable battery. And it would be nice if they just could have, this shouldn't be that hard to design different bags, and with different different sizes of battery. And then people again can decide, do I want, they could sell the mobile with, a flat thing, and then people could at the side buy a bigger one and all that, instead of actually needing to go to a third party, thing that makes them and all that. And of course, that's great when the third party actually making these things where you can put a bigger battery in these. So that's, of course, that's great. It's great that someone actually, fills that space. But this is something that the mobile makers should have done themselves. It can't be that difficult for them, I think they're just making it difficult because, it's just a demonic world. Very sad. Very sad. And let's see here what we have. We have the LG V20 is an Android phone manufactured by LG Electronics as part of the LG V series. Unveiled on September the 6th, 2016 in the Julian Gregorian Roman pagan sun calendar and so forward, which has nothing to do with the Bible. And Neither does all these celebrations that we celebrate. It's just pagan bullshit, all of it. And apparently no one cares about that. And Sunday is not the last day of the week. It's the first day of the week. But hey, who knows? Apparently just people don't care about that either. People don't care about many things, apparently. Oh yeah, I guess they care about, following the Antichrist of the number 666 in regards of the office and seat of the papacy, or the poopacy as I call it. We are going for poop doom, the so-called New World Order, which is just the old world order with the Roman emperor as at its head, which is the high pagan priest of paganism. I call it poop doom, pretty much. Anyway, so, the New World Order is pretty much just the old world order, and it's just poop doom. It's funny that it's always, it seems to be complaining when I'm talking about these things. Then it begins to complain about, network status is poor. I do wonder in regards of YouTube, why would it complain when I begin to talk about those things? Anyway, a lot of things are going on behind the scenes in these companies, and it's sad to see people working for these companies. Well, it's wonderful to see they actually come forward and tell what is actually happening in these companies. And of course, they might actually be fired and so forward. But it's just so demonic what they tell are actually happening in these places. These different platforms of, it's bullshit. And it's just so bullshit. You see the ghost banning. It's just bullshit. They're not telling the user that other users cannot see it. He's just letting the user believe that he's writing and it's not written. So, it's just bullshit. This is disgusting. This is diabolically, and it's disgusting. And YouTube should, and many of the others should be ashamed. How they, all the what do you call the digital logarithm or whatever, and making that, it's just bullshit. It's utter bullshit. As they have this. There's a channel on BitChute in regards of what they expose, where people are coming forward exposing, one company after another, how much bullshit is actually going on behind the scenes. So if people are not agreeing with the agenda and this and that, and kicking them off the platform, like I was on YouTube and many others was kicked off. I was kicked off for hate speech. Well, I'm sitting on YouTube at the moment, of course, but that's on my old account. And I expect that could probably be deleted at some point as well, So, I don't know. I don't know even why I'm making these videos, because, it's bullshit. It's utter bullshit. So, let's see here, but I guess, I have the program to do it, and I'll, I guess I've, get something, whatever, when I research or whatever, I just, so, let's see, LG V10 was released in 2015, and V20 is distinguished by a secondary display. In regards to the secondary display, I do use it a little, but, I can survive without it. It's not a biggie thing and all that. I could turn it off. You can turn it off on this and save some battery. I haven't really done that because it is still nice to have the second screen where you can enter some of the primary programs. And if you're actually doing different things in different programs, it takes the last 5 programs that you have been in. So it makes it easy for you changing from one application to another. And that's actually pretty nice. And then, of course, you have a screen where you have 5 of the, most used applications you can put on for yourself and all that. So it's not bad. But I could live without it. It's not, I use it. I do use it, but I could live without it. It's not a must. of course, one could actually, in regards to the second screen, do more in regards of it. Maybe allowing a window more in regards of, yeah, I have like 2 windows that I can, like do this and all that. And I have 5 icons in both windows. So that's 10 in total. It would be nice if maybe one could have put another one, with more icons. That would, yeah, that wouldn't be too bad. But anyway. In any case, so we have the V20 here. Here's the image. And of course, if you need a new phone, well, that would be the phone I would suggest you and get, Even if it's, it's only a 2 or 3 stars phone. Uh-oh. Do. 32, 20, I'm not sure who that is. Anyway, that was a good melody, by the way, that I fixed in a program. That's da 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 da. That's Martin Luther. It's a children's song in regards of against the 2 arch enemies of Christ. That would be in regards of the Antichrist of the number 666, in regards of Roman Catholicism and the Mohammedans. So anyway, let's see here, LG Electronics. Oh well, so here Hong Kong. It was Hong Kong I got it from. I guess that was actually the version, the 900, and I think that's a dual SIM and all that. So that was pretty great, and I didn't need to pay any toll and all that. And it has been pretty good, and released September, October. Anyway, October, November, December, in regards to the Roman calendar month and all that. So we have successor V30, and I think how many is there? Are they like on V50 or something like that? And not a single one of them has had an attachable battery, in that series from there on. It's just stupid. Oh yeah, that was in regards of all this pixel race and all that. More pixels and more pixels and more pixels. And the system is actually not really running quicker. And it's just it's a small screen. Why do I need more pixels? If I could again, if I could, I would lower the resolution to get more juice out of the mobile, You can do it in some of the games, but I'm not sure how much it lowers and all that. But some of the games, you have this feature in the corner that then comes up, and then you can say lower resolution or higher resolution or medium resolution and all that. Why not have that in the system itself? Why is that not allowed to go down in resolution? And have a look if that actually, I don't know. Anyway. So what do we have else? Guess that's pretty much it. LG V30. Yeah, that's... So this, oh yeah, we have of course, on the LG V20, you have the quad as well. High quality, high quality sound and all that for the jack stick and all that. That's a feature as well in it, that it has, the V20. So pretty much the V20 has pretty much, yeah, it's still the best mobile that's out there. That's pretty much it. It's the best mobile out there, and nothing, I think, has beaten it in regards of Android phones. There's nothing out there as far as I know that there are some, I've seen there's some in regards to not flagships that actually have removable battery and all that. But I don't remember seeing anything that could flip the V20 down yet. So, and I don't expect anything coming out. I saw this phone that was actually, where it had a big battery in it, actually looked pretty good. I was thinking, oh, that's actually... and it doesn't have the newer version of Android and all that, so you should be able to record calls and all that. It had the last version that you're able to record, as far as I know, Android 8.1. So that was good. That was pretty good. But it didn't have any jack stick. It didn't have any SD card. And like 64 gigabytes, what that's it's just too little. I need to have an SD card to be able to it's not going to work. So they had a big battery, like 13,000 milliamps or something like that. I was said that the mobile could run for a week and all that. It was pretty awesome, I think. But no SD card and no jack stick pretty much ruins it, for me. But even if you couldn't change the battery in that, as far as I know. But at least you had, and it was cheap. It's pretty cheap as well. Not too expensive phone. But again, you need an SD card and you need the jack stick, or else it's just no go. Of course, the LG V20 could have had, in regards to speakers, might have been nice with some front speakers. I'm not entirely sure. It would, some stereo speakers maybe. Now, it's not bad that the speaker is in the bottom as such, because when you have it in the pocket, for example, then you can have the speaker upward, so it plays. But I wonder if it wouldn't be nice with some front speakers. But anyway, they didn't do that, and it's not a total. But yeah. So that's pretty much it, I guess. If you need a new phone, I would still, and you should be able to get it pretty cheap someplace. It's why go with all the rest of the bullshit out there? You can still buy batteries, changeable batteries and all that. And I don't know if you should be able to find a charger someplace. I have 2 chargers that I bought, with 2 batteries and all that. And the first battery for this mobile, broke. So I have 3 batteries in total, and of course they will at some point break as well. One of the batteries, at least one of them, doesn't. I don't know. At some point it will. It could go fast, but it's still hanging in there. But it seems to be on its. Yeah, but it's still hanging in there, and I'll use it until it becomes really, really bad. So let's see here. This guy says that because my V20 completely died after glitching a lot the last 6 months. Oh yeah, there's some, in regards to the V20, there's some ghosting that can come on the phone and all that. But it's not that bad, and you pretty much get used to it. I just get you. There are ways of actually going around that if you have root access. There's also ways of getting around it without root access. But I just don't really care about it. I looked into it at some point, and I can live with it. I've lived with the ghosting thing. There's a little ghosting here and there. It's not something. It's not something that stays on the screen forever or something like that. There's one of the things they absolutely could have done better with the LG 20 for sure. That's one of the things that if you buy a phone at a price tag so high, you shouldn't have a screen after half a year actually beginning to make ghosting. That's it's not something that makes it unusable at all. You can still use it and all that, but it was annoying in the beginning. Was like this is, and a lot of people experience that. That's of course taking stars as well away from it. Because it should be something that was fixed, and how LG handled that was, I think, bad as well. Anyway, but again, with all these faults, and there's a lot more that I can find of faults that annoys me with this phone. It's just hard to remember them all, but there are absolutely things where it's like, and some of it is just software that could just have been fixed, but again, the companies are just running from one phone to the next phone, then they don't care about the past phones, and actually sometimes it seems they're actually making the phone slower or breaking things. So you would like to have a new mobile, right? So you end up going and using money again, buying a new mobile, which is actually not necessary if they just had some focus on the. It's just it's just insane world. And then they will talk, oh, we shouldn't throw out all these things and this and that and all that. And then they make mobiles that you can't change the battery on. Oh, you give me a break. Oh, the hypocrisy in this world. Oh, it's just incredible. Not making things, when they're designing absolution or, on these things that so you go out and buy something new again and again and again and again. And then they cry about, oh, we shouldn't throw out so many things and this and that and blah, blah, blah. Oh, give me all the hypocrisy of it all, This is just incredible. It's like the light bulb, the light bulb they designed so they could only last for 1,000 hours, and then you need to change the light bulb. Think about how many man hours that actually, changing light bulbs, going down and buying new light bulbs and producing new light bulbs. Maybe even if you're old, you need to call an electrician that can do it for you. That costs resources for the old and, manpower for the guy. It's just stupid, Life is too short for these stupidities, We're just fixing problems that they have made on purpose. It's stupid. It doesn't make sense, If you can make a light bulb that lasts nearly, a huge amount of times, and then you're forced to make light bulbs that only last for 1,000 hours. It's just incredible. It's a minor thing, but it's just all over, where they are. This designed absolution is just it's wicked. It's stupid. You should make things that is made to last, not just whatever. Buy something and then cast it away and buy something new and cast it away and buy something new and cast it away and buy something new and cast it away. It's insanity. And then they complain about, then they go, oh, we have too much trash and all that. And well, what are you doing, You're not making the things so they last. You yourself, the companies are making it so it's incredible. And same thing with for example, there was another thing was women pants. I'm not sure what they're called in English. And apparently, as it's a long time since I actually studied and all that. But they made these pants for women in regards to these, which I can't remember. But they were they didn't break. And when they don't break, the women don't go out and buy something new. So what did they do? They went back to the design and, made it so it would break. Which is incredible how disgusting this world is. Oh, yeah, because then they throw them out and then, of course, they need to buy some new one. And, it's just, there's workers that needs to make more. There's people needing to use time buying it. And, throwing, it's just incredible. It's just a little bit here and a little bit there. And just, it's incredible. Give me a break. So, it's like they took for example, they showed how strong they were in the beginning and, pulled a car with another car, I think, something like that. And I can't remember. So many years ago that I looked at it. But there was like, oh, really, really, and then, this is not so good. These they're not breaking, We need, just to keep the sales up and again it's just stupid. It's like a mouse wheel, a mouse running in the wheel and running around and around and around. It's stupid. So yeah. We have the LG V40 and I think there's an LG V50. And none of them have replaceable battery. If you're making a Siri, at least, stand by the features of, there we go, LG V50, ThinQ, 5G, whatever. I don't care about 5G. Actually, I in the opposite direction. Let's just keep to 3G. The 3G is, now of course I'm on 4G in regards to the video and all that, but that's because of the software. It always complains about, well, this bullshit that it doesn't have enough enough bandwidth, because 4G have huge amount of bandwidth, and I've checked it, and in the past, and there's no problem in regards to that. But in regards to software, you're not allowed to actually choose how much you want to upload in regards to resolution. And so it could just be easily fixed with some resolution things. Or again, it doesn't seem like it's the 4G or the 3G that seems to be the whole problem. I'm not entirely sure where the bottleneck is, but anyway, I don't want more radiation in the world. We have all this radiation around us, and of course they don't tell us. It's anyway, it will be everywhere. Well, with the 5G. I saw some of the things in regard was China, where they have like cameras everywhere, and they will pretty much know where you are all the time. It's incredible. Yeah, it's like it's pretty much, it's just I think it's disgusting, Oh, yeah, with a massive high energy density, 4,000 milliamps battery. Wow, 4,000 milliamps. Wow. Will it last me a day? Probably not. Yeah. But can you change the battery? Probably not. Again, probably one of these closed mobiles against stupidity. Not a single mobile where you can, it's just incredible. Is it really too much to ask for that one single company make a phone with changeable battery, a jack stick, an SD card? Is that really too much to ask for? Usually I never bought an LG phone before and all that. The only reason why I bought the LG phone was because it was the last flagship that had these features. And a lot of other people are hanging on to it. And I'm going to hang on to it as well. And if it breaks, I would probably, I would go out and buy another one. Maybe a used one or whatever, that's probably the only thing that is out there. But I would buy another one if I don't, at the instant of now, if it broke now, I don't see any other options than to buy another V20 to see if I could get a cheap one, someplace. So there's nothing else out there. There's the Librem 5. The Librem 5 is, but again, it seems like they will need at least a year more or something like that before they really get into a phone that they can begin to really but they are on the right direction and all that, and it's but now of course if 5G is coming out, the privacy is pretty much gone, pretty much anyway, it seems. But that's focused on privacy, and actually also focused like a computer, so you can actually have the mobile with you and then just plug it out to the screen, have a keyboard and a mouse and all that, and the mobile is the computer. That will be a pretty neat feature. But again, they're still working on it and all that, and there's still some going with it. But they have come a long way in regards of it, and it sounds pretty good. It pretty much have a lot of the things that as battery. As far as I can see, you will be able to change the battery. You will have you have the jack stick, and you have what was it? yes, a micro SD card, and yeah, I'm looking forward to see what the future holds for it. Again, this is some of their, what shall we say, prototypes, prototypes of the phone. So, and still working and making things better and all that. So looking forward, and hopefully they will succeed, because that was one of the phones that I saw that might be my future phone. But then again, when they began to release, said they released, they seemed to, they didn't really seem to actually send phones out. Anyway, they're still making on it. It was just sad to see that, when they said they would begin to release the phone and all that, and then actually didn't seem to do it. That was a pretty bad sign. I think they should have been more obvious in regards to that. But anyway, I guess that's just how it is. But they are pretty open, overall. They're trying to be as open as. But I think there's just maybe there was miscommunication with the community in regards of the release date and all that. I don't know. But yeah, looking forward to the Librem 5, and hopefully it will be a success. There's another Linux phone that has been released. So I can't remember what it's called, but anyway, so it's interesting to see that it begins to roll, and of course that would be, I guess that is also for people that actually want some of the same features, and are tired of Google and Android and all the rest of the bullshit. Yeah, they have some good things, absolutely, but how they lock you in handcuff and tell you, oh, you can't do this and you can't do that and you can't do whatever and all that is bullshit. Just bullshit. I think the V20 is. I think I have Android 8.0. I think they skipped the 8.1 and went for the Android 9. And again, I don't know if it actually has been released. In regards of, I haven't checked it, and I don't really care. I was like in the beginning, Android 9 is still coming to the LG 20, and again, they have been very, very slow in regards of updating the phones, which is pretty bad, as well, when you pay so much for the phone, and then making mistakes as well. It's just incredible. Anyway, where is the updates? Oh, that may be the update center. Software updates. Let's see if there's a new update. If they, no, it shouldn't be a surprise if they actually haven't still. No, they haven't rolled it out yet. Oh my, oh my. It's a long time since I actually checked it. I was like, oh, it's just around the corner. Wow, and they haven't released it yet. Oh, that's incredible. But anyway, I don't really care anyway, because I'm not going to update it, because if I update it, I lose the feature to record calls, and you have to be kidding me. So that will not be something I'll do. And also, they did, they had a great theme in one of the older. And then was it the last update? They made the theme, they changed the theme. And I'm like, why are you changing the theme when the theme was pretty cool? And now you just ruined it on so many levels, So they changed the theme, which has the same name. Again, if it works, don't fix it. But apparently that's something that... yeah, anyway, it looks so much better with, they had like these squares that looked very very cool. I think these dots just looks, plain, whatever, I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm done for now. Again, the mobile is wonderful, and you can probably get it cheap and all that. Again, even if I would give it, rated very low in regards of stars and all that, it's still the best mobile that is out there in regards of features, in regards of battery removal and all that. Jack stick, high quad and high quality sound and all that, and the micro SD card. So if you can get a V20, well, I would suggest getting a V20. Yeah, it's if you're going, it's still the best phone that's out there in regards of Android. I don't see any other. That's my view on it. Even after 3 years, nothing has come that actually wiped it off. Even if it's actually only a 2 or 3 star out of 10 star phone, it's incredible. It's incredible. It's insane. Something that was standard beforehand that you expected in a flagship, changing battery, jack stick, and micro SD card of some kind. Always been in micro. I guess the first phone I had, there was no micro SD, but that was in the beginning of the mobiles. Then the next one had it, I think. I guess that must be the Z10 or something like that. And then I had a Sony, I think, or an Ericsson. Sony, I think it was Sony, yeah. And then had it, and the next Sony again had it. It was not a SD, but it was a card of some kind that you could put in it. I can't remember what they were called and all that, but different standards down, and they were becoming smaller and smaller and smaller, right? What did I have? The N8 I think they had a memory card as well, if I remember correctly. I think, yeah, I can't remember. Yeah, it had a memory, I think, where you could put a memory in it. My memory is pretty bad, actually. Now that we're talking about memory. Yeah, can't remember, can't remember at all. But anyway, apparently you can't expect, these things from a flagship anymore. Or maybe just, maybe not a flagship. Maybe something that, I don't know. Again, sad. Sad. Yeah, Anyway, have a good one, all of you. May Jehovah bless you, and may Yeshua be a most precious pearl. And may the Holy Spirit, the Spirit of truth, be in us all. Amen. And have a good one, all of you. I don't have more to say. I'm too tired, and I don't know what to say anymore. So, I'm stopping. Have a good one, all of you. And again, if you need a new phone, try looking into a LG V20. It has all those features that a lot of us want, and yeah, still a great phone, but of course there's a lot of room for improvements, absolutely. But in this crazy daisy world, it's still the mobile on the hotspot. It's still on the top of the mountain, compared to the rest out there. And this is actually very sad, But anyway, that's how it is. Well, have a good one. Bye-bye.